Welcome to another video. This is a what's in the box, but it's an old war game, what's in the box, because this has been around for a little while. I forget, I think I got it from Noble Knights. It's a 1991 era produced game by 3W. Royalists and Roundheads. The English Civil War quad game. So it's an older war game, and this is backwards. So like it says, produced in 1991 by 3W Incorporated from Cambria, California. It's highly solitary game, so that's why I like to look for it, and very kind of low complex game as well as these kind of standard things we have today, you know, from GMT and stuff. So there's 4 different battles from the time of the English Civil War, from 1644 to 1645, and you get the maps and counters for all that. So I found this, it's interesting. I have the pike and shots for the same area. It's when they started using guns and started changing warfare in England. We can read this. The Royalists Roundheads contains 4 of the most important battles of the English Civil War taking place at the dawn of modern warfare. The war led to the creation of the new model army, the basis of the British Army until the start of the 20th century. As pike and tercio failed, the gun rose to become the most important tool of the infantry. This English Civil War was testing ground for these new weapons of destruction. This game features an innovative, easy to use command system that recreates the problems of command in an elegant and simple way. Leaders are rated for command, initiative, and combat. Weapon ranges from pikes, muskets, and artillery to bows and lances. Stat from medieval to modern times war. Each of the 4 games is complete in itself and can be played in 1.5 to 3 hours, with the ever-presenting possibility of one side or the other triggering an automatic victory. So we got the Marston Moor battle, the 2nd July 1644, the largest battle of the war, with 5 armies meeting to decide the fate of northern England. Late in the afternoon, the parliamentary leader, Lord Fairfax, unleashed his Roundhead cavalry on both flanks. Oliver Cromwell led his Ironsides in a successful charge against the Royalist right, but the Royalist leaders, Prince Rupert, Lord Byron, crushed the attack on the left. With dusk gathering, Cromwell and Rupert, the best commanders on each side, dueled for final victory. Battle of the 5 armies. On June 15th, this is Nesby, King Charles, together with Prince Rupert, faced the do-or-die situation. If the Roundheads, led by Sir Thomas Fairfax and Oliver Cromwell, were to win this battle, Battle Nesby would determine the fate of the crown. Facing the new model army, Rupert launched a flank attack on the parliamentary right, which carried him through the opposing lines into the Roundhead rear. Meanwhile, Cromwell was able to defeat the Royalist left and strike hard at the king's left lifeguard before Rupert could gather his forces for another stroke. His fate sealed, Charles fled. And the next battle is, which was earlier, or after the Marston Moor, Justin Mills. James Graham, the first Marquis of Montrose, led a small but determined Royalist force against the Scottish Covenanters. Sorry, speaking English is not my forte. That's funny. Who barred his way into the city of Aberdeen. As Montrose prepared to attack, his right flank was hit by a cavalry charge led by Gordon and his lancers. The Royalists stopped this attack, but were then assailed on their left at Justice Mills. Victory hung in the balance as Montrose rushed his cavalry to the threatened left, arriving in just time to save his army from the rout. Montrose wheeled and attacked the main army of the Covenanters. Once again, Montrose was gambling that his smaller force could defeat a larger, less experienced opponent. Once again, he was right. and then Kilsyth. August 15th, 1645. In the summer of 1645, Montrose once again took war to Scotland, leading the Highlanders of the Western clans into a meeting engagement with the Covenanters in the Auchterarder Valley. The fiercely fought battle went back and forth several times until Montrose finally surrounded Holmes' numerically superior force and annihilated it to the last man. So the cover is from Osprey's Publishing, New Model Army artist Chris Warner, permission to publish. So that's interesting. So they didn't use their own art. But, you know, I don't even think 3EW is around anymore, honestly. Worldwide Games. It was founded in 1977, located in England, with games printed in Hong Kong. The company first published the Wargamer magazine. After buying SPI from TSR and moving to California, it also published for Time Strategy and Tactics magazine, moves, and whatnot. Always looking up information on they closed in 1995, so 4 years after this game they went away. So they've moved around. They were kind of a well-known game company that I definitely played not enough of back in the day. So pretty standard opening. You get one dice in it. Very standard black and white book for rules of the day. And it's well put in the standard, you know, layouts of looking for what to do or not to do. You know, it's hex-based game. This game isn't punched, so which is interesting. I don't know if I'll punch it or not or play it yet, but it looks like fun. I want to play every game I get, so we'll see. Has all the different battles and who's in it and where they are and which hexes they're in. You know, the standard normal hexes, numbered hexes and whatnot. And how to play, actually. I might play it. And obviously it's got a table for movement cost, defensive, all range tables and whatnot. So we got fire tables, which is back then, and then we have another chart for that melee table. Yep, it's just standard like Team Yankee, the game Team Yankee and stuff. The standard tables. And like I said, these aren't punched out at all. So they're the smaller counters. Stop loss. Step loss. Stop loss. I was thinking of military stop loss. Yep, printed in 1991. All the different units in there. It actually says which battles are on them too. And they're front and back. In the different factions, whatnot, right? Royalists and Robins. There's Kilsyth and SB. So you have counters specifically for battle, which is cool. I love their little heads. It's all about different units. And obviously it's the smaller maps. They're just standard print map. There's Aberdeen. You know, people like higher quality, think of higher quality nowadays, stuff, different things, but you know, it works. It's a nice, huge maps though of the different areas. SB there. This is Justice Mills on this side. SB on that side. So there's 4 of them, but I think it's all connected in one. So you fold it over. Yeah. So I got the 4 different maps. And then we have a little card. If I can go on their mailing list. Which obviously they're not there anymore. And I had to put postage on there. So that's it for this box. That's an old what's in the box used game. It's not even used, old vintage game. I guess you say vintage game now, even though it's not really vintage. But 1991, how old is that now? So it's 2025, right? It's old. 30 plus years. Almost going on 40 soon. So how old that is today. But yep, I might play that game. It's interesting to play, or I might just keep it in the box. Some people are like, just keep it in the box, keep it in the box. Some people just play it. You know, games are made to play, right? That's why they're produced. But this game, I think it's a neat little game, a little piece of history actually, for somewhere it doesn't exist anymore, right? And an interesting part of what happened back then. It's also a good history lesson too you can use for me. You know, these kind of is history that we can display it and understand what happened at the battles, right? In general, just to understand things, and you can do a lot of things around it. Anyways, sorry, I had to take a drink. Let me know what you guys think about these older games. I'm gonna keep looking for older games out there and bring them out, because I don't know, what people probably have done videos on things. They may have not. I've found some older, what do you call vintage? I guess call vintage with lack of a better name. Games out there, just for fun. I know people collect them and don't open them. But what's the point of not opening a game and not using it? What's the point? That's the point of the game. So, anyways, you guys keep on wargaming out there, and I will catch you on the next one. And like, as always, remember to sterilize your dice, because you don't know where they've been.